Hey everybody, Goosebumps are Dummies here, and today I'm going to be talking about The Birthday Party of No Return, which is the 6th book in the Goosebumps Hall of Horror series, which was very short-lived, sadly. And this is actually my final review for Hall of Horrors, so we're wrapping it up with the final book, and actually one of the more liked ones, because this is a decently respected book, or liked book, and especially for being a modern. We'll find out soon enough if I think that's deserved, but let me tell you straight up. This title, and kind of the cover, it's pretty much a hollow piece of shit of a lie. It doesn't affect the story at all. It doesn't make me mad, at least this. It's just like, this has nothing to do with the story, right? There is pretty much nothing involving a birthday party of no return, alright? There's a shitty one-liner in this book. Oh, and actually discuss downsides, but that's about it, and there's also a birthday scene. Yeah. That's all there is to do with this. And no, the birthday scene isn't the climax. It's just randomly thrown in there because Stine pulled a say cheese and die. Because if y'all know, that cover had nothing to do with the book besides it being a picture. And, well, Stine made a dream sequence for the cover. This is kind of that situation again. I don't know if he got to name this book or not, but either way, yeah, lie of a title. One of the most popular things about this book, so I thought I'd throw it out there in case you guys didn't know, or are watching this before you've actually read it, or just need a refresher. This has nothing to do with birthdays, pretty much. And it's rather a monkey's paw story, which is basically be careful what you wish for-esque story. For us Goosebumps nerds. So yeah, let's dig into this one. And now for the blurb. Unhappy birthday to you. Lee Hargrove only wants one thing, to win a scholarship to summer sports camp. His school is holding a competition and the winner gets to attend the camp for free. Lee is one of the favorites to win alongside his friend Corey, Lucky Duck, Duckworth, and another athletic classmate, Laura Groden, if I'm pronouncing it right. Laura is good, for a girl. A little sexist there, whoever wrote this. But how can anyone compete with Corey's good luck streak? Lee has an idea, and he's about to give Corey an unforgettable birthday present that will really get the party started. And that is like 10 pages of the fucking book. And no, it's not the climax. Yeah, so getting this straight off out of the way, this book's not really good. In fact, I really wanted to like it, because there's a few friends of mine who were saying, yeah, this book's great. 3 or 4, actually. No, it's just, I can't get into this. I vaguely understand what it was trying to do, and I get some things that are kind of good about it. And I do have some positives, to be fair, which we're getting to very shortly. It's just like, this isn't very good. I couldn't like this. In fact, I think it is extremely mid, so I'll kind of give you my idea of what the score is going to be. So yeah, let's just dive into what actually is redeemable about this story. The Birthday Party of No Return. Well, it has some really bad stuff, but there are good things, alright? There are good things, okay? Starting off body horror. Alright? It's kind of interesting how this one approached body horror, but it's like, I like it. You know, it reminds me of Chicken. Bear with me in some ways, because it might involve a bird, hinting by the talon right there. So yeah. It's decent. That's the most I can say. There are better moments of body horror than others, I'll say that much. Some of it's just like, feathers. Yeah, some of it is like, ooh, okay, that's a lot of feathers, you know? And well, let's dig into this part right now. There's a certain moment being built up throughout the book. Not the birthday party. We'll get to that later, if you know what I mean. But it is the scene where we get revealed who won this scholarship that the school's giving out. And, giving a shit about who wins the scholarship, no, I don't give a shit. I give a shit about the scene. The scene was amazing. It was basically just a all-out bird battle. These kids, and this was staged, which I thought was really cool. That was a really weird thing they threw in there. And it's kind of reminded me of Very Terrified Yet, because there are upsides. You know, I was kind of ducking on this book, and I still think this book ain't very good. Honestly, I almost hate it in ways. But for God's sakes, I will give it credit where credit's due. That is cool that they were plotting this whole fake battle scene where they basically turn into giant birds. It's so good. But like, it's drowned out by all the other terrible shit. But yeah, that's fucking good. The final chapter or whatever, the ending of the book with the reveal, maybe who's behind this all and what was going on. Pretty good. I actually really, really liked it. There was some nice lore. And there was also some really decent scenes involving the Talon, the Claw. One specifically where it's crawling. I really enjoyed that one. That was actually decently creepy for being albeit really stupid. I mean, oh no, it's a claw, it's a tiny little bird claw, it's crawling across the glass, and it's also a fake out. It's still kind of creepy. This idea in my head, like, oh, this the cat, not the cat, that's for heads. The severed claw just crawling its way back to you. It's unnerving. And yeah, there's some unnerving shit, especially in the later portions of the book, and final 30 pages are where this book truly shines. It's got some of the best ending stuff ever, but I don't think it makes up entirely for what came before. Now let's get into that. Let me just start off by saying the characters are really mid. Alright, though they kind of get a little bit of a renaissance in the end, with that great plotting, like how they plotted that fake fight. They're mid. They're kind of and I don't really like the main character, too. He does some dumb shit, to say the least. Now, that being my main issue with the book, let's just get into how fucking boring it is. Sports. I fucking hate reading about sports, alright? That's my least interesting thing on planet Earth, is someone talking about sports. And then I have to read it in this book. Boring shit. Pages and pages of sports. At least 20 pages of this book are like sports. I'm bored out of my fucking mind. Yeah, no thank you. Also, dumb shit. Just really dumb shit, alright? I fucking hated page 30 to like 90. All of that was fucking dumb shit. There were pretty dumb twists, there were some very blatant fucking reveals, and there was the most underwhelming segment I have ever read when it comes to, the big scene. The birthday party, that is of no return. Boring. Well, not boring, sorry. No, it's not one of the boring parts, the sports shit. But it's blatant, stupid, not very good. Mostly because, it's just really hyped up, and it adds nothing. Because, it's the title, and it does nothing. So, kind of deducts points for that, though it doesn't affect it too much. Overall, it's just like, that was a scene that happened, and it adds basically fucking nothing besides a very fucking obvious reveal. And, yeah, this book really fumbles the bag in its execution. That's probably the biggest issue with it overall. It just can't land its execution. Okay, it works in concept better, is what I'm getting at. I like the concept. It's an interesting one, but it just can't fucking land that execution. And it kind of pisses me off for that. But yeah, there's also some really dumb mechanics to the claw. Not a big fan of how it works, but because there's one reveal that is like, oh yeah, you didn't do this certain action with the claw, so now it don't work. Very dumb. And also, first 30 pages are the most boring first 30 pages of any Goosebumps book I've ever read. Not because, sports, but just because it is just a whole lot of pretty mediocre exposition. A lot of mediocre exposition. Yeah, never reading again for the first 90 fucking pages. But it almost got saved, but not by a lot. Let's get to my rating. I give this book a 10 out of 10. This book is probably the most overrated book in the modern era in terms of, cult following, because there's not many popular ones nowadays, and those popular ones are usually, well-liked. This one has its haters. This is just one of those that I think is overrated. And I give it a 5 out of 10. The flat-ass 5 out of 10. Pancake-ass bullshit. Not even muffin, pancake-ass. It is flat like my ass cheeks. The first 90 pages are pretty much terrible. In terms of enjoyment, at least, I think this is one of the most unenjoyable reads I've ever had next to Planet of the Law Gnomes. That is saying something. But then it really kicks into gear in the final 30 pages, which is why I don't say it is one of the worst books I have ever read. It's just one of the least enjoyable books I've ever read. But it's not entirely bad. It has its good shit. And yeah, it isn't worth it very much, but I still think at least it's something after that atrocity that the book was at the start, I feel. Or, the first, 90 pages. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review. Tell me what you think of The Birthday Party of No Return below. And now that I have done this video, I am almost kind of technically done with Hall of Horrors. I believe I've actually already ranked it, so yeah. Enough Hall of Horrors for a while. Maybe I'll do a tier list, but that would be almost pointless. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
They're the same fucking thing, mate!